What's up, guys? How are you? It's Wei and Suzanne from Revolution here at the 2018 Basel Fair, where the sausages are expensive, but the watches are very good. And so here we are at the Rolex booth, and that's something you guys have all been waiting for. And first watch up is we're going to show you the new Pepsi GMT, blue and red ceramic, steel, which is the big news, right? Because when it first came out, it was on white gold, and everyone was like, dude, that's such a nice watch, but could it be possibly in steel? And so now here it is on steel. So a question Suzanne had is, what do I think of the Jubilee bracelet? Well, first of all, my first Rolex was on a Jubilee bracelet, and I think they're incredibly comfortable. I guess part of it is also that when you have this on, people can immediately look at it and be like, oh, okay, he's got the steel one, as opposed to me, I've got the white gold one, which has got the traditional sort of bracelet on there. I don't know, but it doesn't bother me. This watch is amazing. I think it's, what, 8,800 Swiss francs, something around there. It's going to be a killer. Everyone's going to be trying to bribe, cajole, emotionally blackmail people into getting them one of these. But anyway, here you go. What do you think, Suzanne?
I've always really enjoyed the Jubilee bracelet, and I think, like what Wei said, this is an immediate distinction for those who really enjoyed the white gold GMT when it came out with the Pepsi bezel. But you know, we're just waiting for it to come out in steel, and I think it looks exceptional. Obviously, that's something we just discovered the other day actually about the bezel, because this is not the first time we've seen it. Obviously, we saw it with the one in white gold, but check it out. When you fluoresce the bezel under UV light, don't look at it directly, kids, but the blue bleaches out. And kudos to Rolex for immediately coming to the fore with the correct answer, which is that under UV light, some wavelengths of light are completely bleached out. And if you know a bit more about the creation of this particular ceramic dial, it's quite unusual, because most ceramic that you see in watchmaking is zirconium oxide. This is aluminum oxide, which is the same composition that you see in sapphire glasses actually. But the red is actually applied first and then the blue later. So when you fluoresce it this way, the blue bleaches out. It's cool. It's a cool effect.
So not just changes on the outside of the watch, on the inside of the watch as well. This new generation of movements has the Chronergy escapement, which is a really cool take on the Swiss anchor. A lot of people come up with sort of wacky escapements. Some other people are using completely different escapements altogether. This is an improvement, but using silicone for both the escapement lever as well as the wheel. And what are we using for the hairspring? What's the hairspring in the Chronergy?
The hairspring is a parachrome?
It's parachrome. So it's parachrome, and then you've got silicone for the escapement wheel and the levers, so totally not influenced by magnetism, correct?
And these are key components of what constitutes their superlative chronometer certification, which, you know, all these watches have at the moment.
And if I'm not mistaken, high power reserve as well. Were you saying 70 hours of power reserve?
70 hours.
So exceptional wear on the wrist. You guys are getting real bang for the buck right here.
Exactly. I feel like I'm on an infomercial on this.
Yeah. Call him in the next 10 minutes.
If only, right? So, so next up is the Everose GMT watch. So really cool execution here. As you can see, ceramic brown and black bezel, which is an homage, a clin d'oeil, as they like to say in French, which just means like I winked my eye, if I'm not mistaken, to one of the very early bezels on the gold GMT watches, right? What year, 57, was that right?
57.
That's right. And this also benefits from the internal improvements. So also 70 hours of power reserve, Chronergy escapement, and parachrome, which has been used for some time now, but is incredibly cool and extremely useful. What is the internal standards for accuracy at Rolex now?
I believe currently it's at -2+2.
That's pretty damn good.
Yeah, it is.
Right? Okay. And what do we have here?
We have here the bibantal version, which you know, it's you have this, the full gold one, for those of you who enjoy a bit more color in your life. And this is.
I think I kind of.
Why is that funny?
I feel like I'd be all about this version. I think that's awesome, right? Although I have to say,
I think that's stunning. The play of colors, it's very subtle. It's not too much, and that's
35,000 Swiss francs, and this is, I believe, it's 16, right? I mean, oh no, 13.4. If you look at this, actually, there's an enormous presence, because you get, you know, the same bezel, right, which is ceramic, but then it's got it's etched out. And if you're using PVD, you've got rose gold in there for the indexes. Yeah, it's really cool. It's an amazing watch. And so from there, we're going to go to, before we go to the rainbow, which I know everyone's excited about, we're going to go to the deep sea. And the deep sea, everyone, like when this watch came out, everyone loved the watch but hated the bracelet. It felt like it had a tiny, tiny bracelet and a really big, heavy watch. So it kind of felt like you had a rock tied to your wrist with a rubber band. Or in weightlifting terms, was a guy who spent all his day bench pressing but not doing any squats or calf raises.
Yeah, skip leg day.
Exactly. Skip leg day.
Yeah. We all hate leg day.
Ken, you're laughing. You into leg day?
Who likes leg day?
No. Yeah, he loves leg day.
He loves, okay, well.
He was...
Yeah.
Shows your calves.
Not really.
So
lie to us, man. You're on camera.
Yeah. No, but I've seen him work out. He's you know, I've spotted for
Oh, yeah?
before. Yeah, I
All
tried to
right.
get up in real close.
I didn't know that's the kind of dynamic you guys had.
I have that dynamic with almost everyone. So there you go. That's the watch right now. But check this out. So finally, it's got a bracelet and a clasp that are befitting of a watch of this Herculean proportions and weight.
Substantial stuff, yeah.
Ring lock technology. Everything stays the same. If I'm not mistaken, it's got a titanium back here as well. But great watch. Oh, also, I hope you noticed that the dial is this beautiful sort of blue gradient dial. Fume, I guess. Fume dial seems to be very popular.
Yeah.
Sumit, you saw that as well?
And it's a full brush finish on the bracelet. I noticed that instead of alternating. Like
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So it just accentuates the sportiness of the watch.
And so this is the last watch I'm going to put in Suzanne's
And now
hands right here.
the watch we've all been waiting for.
It's the Return of the Rainbow.
The return of the rainbow.
So when the Rainbow first came out, I don't know if this is a factor in the Return of the Rainbow. When it first came out, it was a $79,000 watch, I think. And then they stopped making it because they, well, I don't know why they stopped making it. I shouldn't sort of guess. But in the aftermarket, and I guess Ross behind us knows this particularly well, he's our sort of Rolex and Tudor specialist, they started just creeping up in price. And now if you want a Rainbow, it's a quarter mil, right?
Yeah.
Right. So now Rolex has sort of brought this watch out. 92,000 Swiss francs, but honestly, if you can get one, I guess someone's done you a big favor, because I would imagine in the aftermarket they're just going to go crazy in value. But there you go.
This is what we call, ladies and gentlemen, a tasty watch.
I was going to say this is what you call a baller watch, but it's a tasty baller watch. Exactly.
Oh, that's just like no.
I don't know where your head is, dude.
Your head was there first, dude. Don't put this on me.
I said tasty,
don't put this on me.
And then there was a comma, and then there was a hashtag baller. It wasn't like tasty baller. It wasn't like a. Oh, never mind. It wasn't hyphenated. Is what I'm saying. Okay. Anyway,
I worry about who you've been mixing with.
Exactly. It's the guys from Revolution. They're very bad influences.
But all the things that you loved about the Rainbow Daytona is still there. You know, the gold crystal sub counters, just for that little texture, the play with light, gorgeous. So it's just like kind of like scintillates around the bezel with the multicolored gems.
If you're in Singapore, it's actually scintillate, but anywhere else it's scintillate.
Who says scintillate?
Because I went to go look at a diamond ring once, and then the lady was like, "You see this ring? It's all about the scintillation." It's very Singaporean. They make up their own. It's like everyone went to prison and educated themselves there in Singapore. You know, they speak their own kind of English. I'm sorry. So let's go.
So we're both Singaporeans. Let's not diss.
Well, we speak pretty decent English, from time to time.
I can barely speak English. I don't know about you.
Me too, actually. Very, very, very shaky grasp.
Yeah. So obviously, let's not as well downplay the difficulty of getting these gems to match the exact shape, because like that's something that people forget about, the difficulty of the skill of gems expertise that goes into this watch. I mean, it's not a frivolous thing. It looks good, but there's some solid technique behind there as well. So
look at that scintillation,
dude.
Thank you guys very much.